Was all your family MAGA? How are your relationships now since leaving? So when I was in MAGA, I developed a second family. And as embarrassed as I am to admit this, my second family oftentimes took precedence over my own blood family. And I devoted time, money, and resources to my second family that should have gone to my real family and to my business. And that second family was one of the reasons it was so hard to walk away from MAGA, is I knew that I was going to be severing relationships with some people I'd gotten very close to. And what we did in that second family is what friends and family do. We went to holiday parties and birthday parties and kid events. I spoke to some of my fellow MAGA compatriots every single day. We messaged, we talked, we communicated, we talked about politics, we talked about life, we talked about family. They were close knit. They were people I'd gotten very, very close with. And leaving behind that second family was terrifying for me because it meant that I was going to be leaving my community. And that's why I say all the time, it's the best way to understand MAGA is not as a cult, it's as a community. It's where people have feelings of gathering and belonging and a sense of camaraderie. There are shared goals, there are shared fears and dreams, and there's also shared enemies, and there's also a shared addictions to fear and rage. But it's important that as you think about your friends and your loved ones, you know, I want you to think about them who they were before Trump and MAGA came on the scene. Because what I did when I was in MAGA is I lost touch with some of my longtime friends. And part of the reason that I lost touch with them was because of my second family. And another part was because I knew that they were blue Democratic voters. And so after I left MAGA, I went back to every one of them and I said that if they didn't accept my apology, I would accept that. But I needed to say that I was sorry for lumping them into a category that I considered to be an existential threat to my life, my livelihood, my family, and my country. And all of my friends accepted my apology. And one in particular, who was very, very influential in my life and dating all the way back to college, he said to me, "Rich, I always knew that you'd come back." And that meant a great deal to me because it was a way for me to restore my relationships that I had lost as a result of being a MAGA activist. So I want you to not give up on your friends and your family who are in MAGA. I believe most people in MAGA deep down are good people. And I'm not defending their or my ignorance, but I believe those in MAGA have been led astray and they have had their natural fears and concerns exploited and manipulated, and they've been preyed upon. And I allowed myself to be preyed upon. I allowed myself to believe a lot of the anti democratic propaganda and agitprop that's existed for years. But once I discovered that I was believing that which was false, it enabled me to start to change my mind. And I would really encourage all of you to take some time and read the testimonials at our website at leavingmaga.org of those who also left, because you'll find them to be very edifying, very enlightening, eye-opening, and I hope very inspirational. We have black and white and Hispanic, we have man and woman, we have gay and straight, we have those whose entree into MAGA was through their Christian nationalist church. We have someone who went to prison as a result of his actions at January 6th. We have Black Americans. We have couples who entered MAGA and left MAGA together. We have those who were MAGA before they could even vote and became Trump supporters and then realized the errors of their ways and left. So I would really strongly recommend that you go and read those stories of our other leaders who left.